It's nearly Christmas, so you can make them as festive as you want. Let me just make sure that camera's on. And we'll start off. Sorry, my other camera's not swapping. Bear with me 1 second. No, it doesn't want to do it. Hang on. Let's start by shaking. So just shaking the wrists. Give them a good shake. And then also just bring your hands in front and shake them forwards and backwards. And again, good shake. And then shake the legs. Let me see if I can get that bigger camera working. So just shaking your ankles out, shaking your legs out. I know why it's not working. Keep going, keep shaking. Because there's so many USB ports and USB bits to connect that I disconnected it last night. There we are. It's a bigger camera, we can see better now. So shaking out the legs. And just a little bit heels into the ground. Get some vibration going through the heels. You can hear it in my voice. Really relax the neck and the shoulders. I'll just show you from the side. So you're just banging the heels into the ground to get some vibration. Strengthening bones. Keeping tall through the crown of the head, tall to the sky. Just move around a bit. And then just come to a resting, standing posture. Let's bring our feet close together. So we just narrow our base of support. Just pop your hands on your tummy, on your belly. And just take a moment just to align yourselves with that pull of gravity. So you may want some little micro movements, forwards and back, side to side, just to balance. And give yourself a moment to tune in with the breath. Just let the breath settle. And then just let the arms rest by the side, hang by the side, keep tall. And then we're going to step out. So step out a little bit wider now. So your own comfortable width. So if you're comfortable with wider than shoulder width apart, that is good. What we want to be able to do is soften the knees, so a little bit of bend in the knees, so we can shift the weight side to side. So let's just shift that center of gravity here. Just shift the weight side to side. You can drop down a little bit as you shift. So just take it nice and slowly, just shifting that weight. Keep the torso pretty upright, so pretty straight there. So when I'm shifting, I'm not leaning. So I'm shifting. So you're using your legs. It's a bit like if you imagine you were ice skating and you're pushing into the ground to push yourself side to side. I'll show you from the side, so keep going. So I've got that little bit of give, got that neutral spine, and I'm just shifting, shifting. Really use the legs, use the ground. Do it nice and slow, you can push through the ground. So you're doing resistance training, strength training using the legs. If you can drop a little bit lower, then feel free to drop a little bit lower. Nice and slow. And then just come back up to standing, shake it out a little bit. Then when you're ready, back into that same position. Knees bent a little bit, slight tilt forwards. This time as we shift, we'll add that rotation in. So we rotate around the spine. You can use your arms, but lead with the hips. So you rotate, I'm going to mirror you, I'm going to go to the left. You rotate, and then you rotate, and rotate, and rotate, rotate. So just do that nice and smoothly, and you can look in the direction that you're rotating. If it starts to feel really dizzy, you can just do a half look in the direction. So you can just do a little glance to the side that you're rotating to. See if we can go a little bit lower in that dip in the middle. Really use the legs. Really let the shoulders and the arms and the upper back relax. And you can slow it down or you can speed it up. Go at whatever pace you feel comfortable with. With your breathing, easy, natural in and out through the nose. It's really good for opening up the hips. So you're getting that work on rotation in the hips. You're strengthening your leg muscles, you're relaxing, really let go. Shoulders, upper body. Good. Zoomers are looking good. Watch that you're not, again, leaning side to side. So see if you can keep that torso, really focus on that rotational axis through the crown of the head. Really feel the rotation through that upper back, through the thoracic spine. Let's just keep that movement going nice and fluid. If the breath starts to change, if your legs start to go, right, I'm really doing a lot of work, then you can just slow it down. You can come a little bit higher if you want to, but challenge yourself. But obviously, don't force anything. If there's any pain in the hips, any pain in the ankles or the knees, then you just stop. Let's keep going a few more. Really relax that upper body. And then slow it down and come back up to standing. Walk your feet together. That look good, looks smooth, everybody on Zoom. Let's do a little bit of a body pump now. So we will raise the arms up, just make sure you've got nothing like Christmas trees or anything behind you. Drop down, pump the legs, swing back up. And drop down, pump the legs, swing back up. Drop down, and get into a nice flowing rhythm. You can use an out breath. You can breathe in as you come up through the nose and a release breath, a let go. Really nice. In through the nose. So we're mobilizing, we're warming everything up, getting prepared for our squatting and our pressing and our pulling. Let's do a couple more. And then just bring the arms by the side. I'll just show you from the side again, just things to watch for on that little movement. is when we are dropping down, keep the spine pretty neutral so we're not rounding the back like that. We're coming down with a pretty neutral spine, hips are gliding back. As the arms swing back, put a little straightening of the legs at the back there. It's really nice because it gives the hamstrings a little bit of a wake up, and then you can come up. So you can straighten the legs, straighten the legs, straighten the legs, straighten the legs. Good. Get your heart rate up. Give yourself a little bit of a shake out again. Let's go into our squat. Shoulder width apart on the feet. Come back a little bit so you can see there. Again, technique-wise, we're looking for knees gliding over the toes. The body is folding. So all I'm doing is lowering my center of gravity. Let's just go to about half squat, so we're not going into a really low squat, just a comfortable half squat, or you keep the spine pretty neutral there, and then you can push back up. Let's do it really nice and slowly. So you can put your arms whatever position you feel comfortable with. If you want to set your arms in this position or in this position, or just use them to balance to start off with. So let's go down slow and slowly up. That's good. Breathing is easy. Breathing is easy in and out through the nose. Slowly down. Get to the point where you can easily control pushing up through the heels. This is really good pace. Slowly down. Really strong on the legs. Slowly up. Full standing when you come up. So tall at the top. Slowly down. Slowly up. And again, you're in control of how far. If it's just comfortable getting to here, that's a great place to get to. If it gets to the point where you're struggling with the breath, if you're struggling to maintain that stability and control, then you've gone too far. A little bit slow. Let's see if we can go even slower. If you're using body weight, which we're using here, and you're slowing that movement down, you don't need to lift heavy weights because there's a lot of work going on there. Slowly up. See how slow you can come up through the heels. Good. I can feel my legs working there. Tall. Tall at the top. Let's do 2 more like that, as slow as you can. Breathing easy, in and out, through the nose. Just that half, just where you get into that neutral spine position, and then you can come, push through the heel as slow as you can coming up. Slow as you can coming up. That looks good. Tall at the top, so you're extending the hips, you're extending the legs, you're extending the spine. Then go again. Keep that idea of being tall through the spine. Keep that spine long. This should be quite challenging. That's good. Be really strong so you're not throwing yourself back up through the floor. Push through the heels. Feel the legs working. This looks really good. And then extend. Oh, that feels good. Shake your legs out. You don't need heavy weight. We've got plenty of weights there that we're working with the body weight. Slowing movement down will really intensify that movement. It also gives you time to sense what's going on in the body. So really take your time, because you're putting you're putting good stress through the body on that little little squat position. Let's do the wall. So let's come to the wall. So if you've got your wall. So again, just a reminder on the technique on this. Let's go about shoulder width, maybe just a little bit wider than shoulders on the hands. Really use the heel of the hand. So that nice solid bit in the palm there to connect to the wall. Spread the fingers, use the fingers. Now I'm hanging off the wall a little bit there, so if I go there, I fall off the wall, but spread the fingers. Really set the shoulders back and down. We keep in that long spine position, and then all we're doing is hinging from the ankles, coming towards the wall. And again, if we do this really slowly, push through the heel of the hand. It's a bit like as we were pushing through the heel of the foot to come back up to standing. Now make sure that when you come back to standing, we get that space in the back of the body as well, that we haven't got the shoulder blades pinched back. So you really open up the shoulders. And then again, let's go really slow. So just take your time. The minute your center of gravity has gone past that contact with the ground, you're really pushing into that wall. So you've got your whole body weight there, keeping that spine long. Watch that we don't push the chin or the head forwards. Breathing easy, close to the wall as possible. Really slow, slow, slow. Who needs to do big press-ups on the floor? Push slow, really slow, really slow. Push into the wall, make sure it's secure. Make sure you don't go into next door. Extend and tall. Let's go again. So moving your center of gravity. This center of gravity comes forwards, and then straight away, there's your resistance, there's your weight that you're using. Let the ankles just relax. Go as slow as possible. Breathing easy through the nose, deep as possible. And again, you're not just throwing yourself back up, you're really taking your time to push, push, push into the wall. Really feel that tension, good strength through the arms, through the fingers. Excellent. Let's do 2 more like that. Slowly. Breathing easy. Feel how the shoulders are working. How you're keeping that alignment through the spine, that spinal alignment. So the minute your center of gravity comes forwards, there's the work going on. And then push through the heels of the hand, palm of the hand. And then take a rest when you finish that one. That looked good from what I could see there on Zoom. Again, that's really, you should really feel that's worked. Really worked the upper body, really worked the arms, and really actually worked that whole structure, because you want to keep that alignment through the spine. All you're doing is taking your standing vertical alignment and tilting it forwards, and then using that upper body to support you, to push you forwards and backwards. Give your arms a little bit of a shake. We'll do the opposite of a push, which is a pull. I'm going to give you a couple of alternatives here. So if you've got the resistance band, we'll come on to the resistance band in a minute, but there's a really nice starting position that we can work on that you don't actually need a resistance band for. So let's go with our feet about fist width apart. I'm going to show you from the side. We're going to bend our knees. I'll come back a little bit so you can see my feet. So we're in that sort of like neutral spine, long back position. And from here, I've got a table in the way, so I'm going to show you with one arm. You can do it with two arms. Just bring the wrist and arm out to the side. So there's the back position. Now if I come forwards, I can show you what I'm doing. So it's almost like flying. So you're in that long spine, lengthen from the crown, bend the knees, slowly bring the arms up. So again, we're working on that slow movement. Slowly bring the arms up. Watch that the shoulders don't crunch up here. So the shoulders are back and down. And then bring the arms down. So again, slow, 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 slow. Now you can almost imagine, as you're bringing the arms up, there's resistance. So imagine that there's resistance, that you're pushing through a resistance. So you can create your own resistance just by pushing against dense air, if you want to think of it like that, but you're really creating a resistance as the arms are coming up. This should work through the legs as well. Open up. And then again, as you do it, bring them down slowly. There's quite a lot of work going on to actually maintain that slowness. You're not just dropping the arms to the ground. So again, you may feel, I can feel just by doing that wall press and doing this, a little bit of shaking going on through the arms. So again, use the floor, push into the floor. Slow, 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 slow. Slowly down. Again, as you're bringing the hands down, imagine you're pushing through thick, dense air. So you're creating your own resistance. And then take a rest there, come up to standing. If that puts a lot of pressure on the hips and the lower back, then just do a few and then take a little bit of rest if it starts to feel a little bit tight in the hips or the lower back. Give the legs a shake out. The other thing you can do is, if you haven't got a resistance band, is bottles of water. I've got my Oatly barista milk here. So we're going to that same standing position, neutral spine, tilt forwards, long spine there. Hold the grip, and then again you're just pulling. Now it feels like lightweight, but if you pull slowly, pull, 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 pull. So if you've got your resistance band, or if you've got any weights, let's just grab that and let's just do a few of these pulling up into the side of the body. So grab your band or grab your light weights. I'll grab the band again. Actually, I'll use the other colour one. Let's have a look, we've all got the bands. So with the resistance band, you're stepping on it. Your feet again are about fist width apart. It's that same position with the knees, the feet and the spine. So you bend the knees, neutral spine, slightly tilt forward, get a nice grip on the band. Then you're just bringing the elbows up to the sides behind you. So you're just pulling up and then slowly down. And again, if you keep this nice and slow, keep the spine long, so just watch the head position. That idea of just being, imagining like you've got a laser beam from the crown of your head, just pointing in the direction, keeping that spine neutral. So you're just pulling, And again, use the time as it comes down. So there's resistance too. Don't just let go. Feel that resistance as you're lowering the band. Use the whole movement. So the idea is everything we're doing, it's all about the quality of the movement. It's not just about counting reps. Make this movement as the quality of this movement as good as possible. So use every single part of this movement slowly down. So let's do a couple more. Use the ground, push into the ground with the feet. Bring those elbows back. See if you can pull a little bit more. Breathing naturally, easily. All of these moves we've done today with the squat and the press and this pull is all about endurance. So it's all about building our endurance, where you want to be able to breathe easily, efficiently. So there's different types of training. You can do your endurance training, you can do your strength training, where you'll do fewer repetitions but with a heavier weight or with a heavier resistance. And then you can do your power training, which is very much like if you were going to do a hop or a flying press up where you clap your hands and land back on the floor. But you've got to really focus on the technique, and just by doing stuff like this slowly, calmly, and being in control of the movement and the breath, you can really tune into what's going on in the body, really tune in with your technique, understand your body, know where you can take your body to, know where your limits are. Let's do a couple more. So really into the ground. If the hips are starting to burn or if the legs are starting to burn, then do take a little rest. But if we've got one more there, and then we can let go. You can get rid of your band, and let's just finish off with a little bit more shaking. So shaking the hands. Because actually, if you've really done those movements slowly, there's a lot of work gone on there, and you may feel a little bit later on today, tomorrow, or even on a Saturday, a little bit of tightness or tension, but in a good way. So don't worry about that if your muscles are starting to ache a bit. It's very different from achy, sore muscles in a good way to pain in a bad way, which is obviously what we don't want to do. Brilliant, excellent. Good session. Everybody looked really strong there on the Zoom. Everybody looks as if they're really getting into those movements and it's working for them. I will leave you there to say have a fabulous weekend, and we will see you next Tuesday. So next Tuesday and next Thursday there will be live classes. So we'll be having a live class on Christmas Eve if you want to join. So that is Thursday, I think. And there'll be live classes the week afterwards as well on the Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I will see you then. Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. See you all soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.